Breaking news. Police are on the scene of a reported shooting right now. News Channel 5's Blake Rosnowski is at the scene on North 16th Street. And Blake, do you know if anybody was injured?
Well, Amy, I was just able to confirm recently with Metro Police that there was one man who was taken to Vanderbilt University Medical Center for a non-critical gunshot wound to his leg. It happened here at this home where you can see this crime scene tape going around it. We are on North 16th Avenue, not too far from Eastland Avenue, so a pretty busy spot in East Nashville. I've already seen several people running, neighbors coming out wondering what is happening. There was a woman who was visibly upset with her 4 children who were out here trying to get some information from Metro officers and figuring out what exactly happened. We do have the crime scene unit getting to the scene to hopefully figure out what exactly happened. But at this point, the circumstances surrounding the gunshot are under investigation. So we're hoping to get some more details on that as soon as officers are able to figure out what exactly happened this morning. But again, that man should be okay. That injury is considered non-critical. Live in East Nashville, Blake Rosnowski, News Channel 5.
And more breaking news this morning. A prominent city leader gunned down in Memphis late last night, and now investigators say his killer could be anywhere.
Officers say a gunman shot and killed the Memphis Chamber of Commerce CEO last night near the farmers market. We're told Phil Trenery was leaving a race put on by the chamber when he was attacked. The shooter took off in a white F-150 and is still on the run.
Now a big story we continue to follow here in Nashville, the arrest of a Metro Nashville officer. You see him right here in the shooting death of Daniel Hamrick. Last night, the officer who shot him, Andrew Delkey, was charged with criminal homicide. Officer Delkey's attorney says his client was just doing his job and will plead not guilty. News Channel 5's Hannah McDonald is live this morning at General Sessions Court to tell us what's going on with this case and what's coming up next.
Well, Adam, the attorneys for Officer Delkey say that they are not going to stand by going forward. They believe that there is evidence that will show that Delkey was just doing his job. Delkey learned yesterday morning that he was going to face this criminal homicide charge. His attorneys say that he was booked and posted a $25,000 bond almost right away. This is him coming and going from the jail. Yesterday, Delkey's attorney, David Rabin, spoke to the media for about 14 minutes. He said he couldn't say much, but Delkey is a strong police officer, and he will show that when he is in court.
We look to these facts being released along with all, and let me emphasize the word all, the videos.
Rabin is hinting at the one video that is replayed in the last several weeks since the shooting happened in July. And it's the surveillance video that shows Officer Delkey shooting Daniel Hamrick in that Nashville neighborhood. The district attorney's office released that, and according to Delkey's attorney, he did that prematurely. So coming up in the next half hour, you're going to hear more about what the defense may try to prove when this goes to court. Delkey will be in court on October 30th. In Nashville, Hannah McDonald for News Channel 5.
Now, community groups are reacting to yesterday's decision as well, saying the city should take a hard look at who will police the police.
And News Channel 5's Mo Hyder is live this morning at the church where Daniel Hamrick's family will hold a press conference a little bit later today. And Mo, what is the Nashville NAACP saying about yesterday's decision?
Well, the local chapter says they're very pleased with the charges that were filed, but they were a little surprised by why the bond was only posted at $25,000. But regardless of yesterday's outcome, they want to push for more efforts when it comes to overseeing officer-involved shootings. Now, again, they say this is a good start, but they are preparing themselves for a very lengthy process. Now, they say the real justice will be done when Delkey is convicted. The NAACP is stressing the importance of the Community Oversight Board referendum, which should be in front of voters in November. Now, they also say the shooting puts the need for police body cameras back in the spotlight. Now, despite the DA's office saying they need to hire 50 new workers to sort through it out, that would cost an estimated $11 million, they say. Members of the NAACP also frustrated, saying you can't really put a price on someone's life.
Whatever it costs, is it worth a young black boy's life? And I think we have to ask that seriously. And I think if you aren't black or brown,
that's right.
You have to ask seriously if it's my child. because you really don't know when it might be your child.
Now, again, you've heard from local activists tonight at 5 o'clock at the Church of the Living God, where we are standing right now. The family of Daniel Hamrick will speak for the first time. Again, that press conference expected to start at 5 o'clock. For now, live in Nashville this morning, Mo Hyder, News Channel 5.
Well, there are several officials and groups reacting to Officer Delkey's criminal homicide charge in this case. You can find those statements online, and of course, we will continue to follow this developing story 24 hours a day, both on air and online. The Senate Judiciary Committee will vote today on the nomination of Brett Kavanaugh to the U.S. Supreme Court. This follows 8 hours of emotional and sometimes explosive testimony from Kavanaugh and his accuser Thursday. Kavanaugh denied sexually assaulting Dr. Christine Blasey Ford when they were both in high school.
I'm not questioning that Dr. Ford may have been sexually assaulted by some person in some place at some time, but I have never done this.
Under oath, Dr. Ford offered a different account of what happened.
I tried to yell for help. When I did, Brett put his hand over my mouth to stop me from yelling. This is what terrified me the most and has had the most lasting impact on my life.
Tennessee Senators Bob Corker and Lamar Alexander say they plan to support Kavanaugh's nomination when the full Senate votes, perhaps as early as next week. Alexander tweeted a statement saying he will vote for Kavanaugh because, quote, of his 26 years of distinguished public service and his reputation as a superior jurist, lawyer, and teacher.
And Metro Police are asking for your help to find the 3 people accused of robbing a 10-year-old at gunpoint. And this happened Sunday in an apartment complex parking lot on Scruggs Lane. You see it happening here in this video. Police say the suspects drove by in a silver Honda Civic, which had been stolen earlier in the day. They saw the boy getting into his mother's SUV, and police say that's when they demanded the boy give them the keys. The suspects took off in the Honda and the SUV, so if you recognize them, give police a call. And a kindergarten teacher is one of 6 people who police say tried to bring drugs into a jail. Rutherford County officers say Shelly Gerda and her son, along with 4 others, tried to get Suboxone to inmates. That's a drug that treats opioid addiction. Gerda taught kindergarten at Stewartsboro Elementary. She has been suspended without pay pending the outcome of this investigation.
New this morning, police are investigating an armed robbery at a Goodlettsville game store. Officers released these pictures of the suspect. They say this happened at GameStop on Rivergate Parkway around 11 o'clock yesterday morning. Police say the man in these photos showed the clerk a gun and then demanded cash. He got away with $800, and if you know who he is, please call police. And in Clarksville, officers need your help finding this man. They say he could be connected to a string of vehicle burglaries that happened late last week. The suspect was caught on video trying to enter a vehicle, but after trying the door handle there and discovering it was locked, he moved on. If you know who this guy is, please give police a call.
A little rain Thursday couldn't stop future firefighters, so take a look at this. They spent the day outside in the rain doing their physical agility testing. More than 250 candidates want to join the department. Training involves work on the ladder. That's kind of scary because you know how slippery that must have been. Look how high it is too, yeah. And it's one of the biggest parties Nashville throws all year long. And it's official now. Keith Urban will be back for a 3rd year in a row to headline Nashville's new New Year's Eve celebration. The Nashville Convention and Visitors Corp says this year should be the best yet. They sat down with Urban 3 years ago. They say they wanted him to act as Nashville's Dick Clark or Ryan Seacrest, and he was on board with that. The celebration, which has taken place at Bicentennial Mall for the past 2 years, will also include Peter Frampton, Judah and the Lion, and many other local acts.
Look at all these people call Nashville home, and you're getting gospel and soul and rock and classic rock and country. So it sets the brand apart.
And it's especially different because this is the 10th year, a big milestone. The fireworks show is expected to be the biggest and the best yet. Other surprises are expected to be announced pretty soon.